Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So, big breaking news now is coming out of the media that reportedly Man United are still considering and trying to find a recruitment in the role of a director of football at Manchester United. So, reportedly, Man United have been on the search for the director of football for quite a while now. As I said, a few names have come to the agenda who could fulfil that role at the club. As I said, the other week Paul Mitchell was mentioned, but reportedly the ex-Manchester United goalkeeper reportedly is interested in being the director of football at Manchester United. Peter Schmeical has admitted this. He says, does he have the qualities to be the director of football at Manchester United? Obviously he wants to bring the Ferguson's mentality back, as Peter Schmeichel said, as we all currently know. So he has said quite a few interesting stuff, but he is considering taking the role of being the director of football at Manchester United. It's in quite a lot of media outlets. If you have been reading about it, Schmeichel, Solskjaer's obviously returned now to Manchester United as interim manager. Obviously, he knows the trappings of the club, he knows the culture of the club, and he knows the club inside out. And so does Peter Schmeichel. He was here for 8 years as a current player from 1991 to 1999, as we all currently know. Played about 398 times for Manchester United, as we all know, and he achieved a lot of silverware here. He also captained in the Champions League in 1999 as well, did Schmeichel. He won the European Championship with Denmark in 1992, as we all currently know. And he's made 129 appearances for Denmark as Peter Schmeichel, as we all know. And I think he's made over 3 century appearances, something like that, all in all, or something like that, just in the Premier League as Peter Schmeichel, as we all know. But at Old Trafford, he won 5 Premier League titles, he won 3 FA Cups, he won a League Cup, and he won the Champions League with Manchester United. So he did win a 10 honours with Manchester United as well. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the trappings of the club, as I said, because he was our goalkeeper for 8 years. And obviously, Solskjaer joined in 1996. He was at Manchester United 11 years. He was a great player who scored 326 goals in 366 appearances. And obviously, Schmeichel played alongside Solskjaer for 3 years or so, because obviously Schmeichel had left the club in 1999, we all currently know. But we have been recruiting of trying to recommend a director of football to step into the club. But reportedly, Schmeichel is interested in putting his name down and applying for the role, as I currently said, because we have been in search, and we do want to recommend a director of football, that can that helps you with the transfer windows and stuff of who to buy into the club and all that. So reportedly, Peter Schmeichel's name has been mentioned on the agenda, as I currently said. And throughout his playing career, he played with Brondby. He was actually at Brondby before he came to United. He had 8 great years at Manchester United, under obviously the management and reign of Alex Ferguson, obviously who won 38 trophies, with Manchester United, including 13 Premier Leagues, as we all currently know. Had a great 27 years of Alex Ferguson. He had great players, and Schmeichel, was a great goalkeeper, as we all know. After Manchester United, I think he went to Sporting Lisbon. He had spells with Aston Villa, and he had spells with Manchester City as well. So all in all, I think in total, all his appearances, I think he made, all in all the clubs he'd been at, he made around 648 appearances. Was it or something like that? But reportedly, Man United have been in the search for actually looking to hire a director of football. As I said, Paul Mitchell was mentioned quite a few days ago that he updated you on. And the latest one now has been Peter Schmeichel, because Man United are looking, to hire someone to take the role of being the director of football. And, Peter Schmeichel's interested. And I think, he says, do I have the qualities? As he said, he wants to bring Ferguson's mentality back to the club. I think Solskjaer's going to do it anyway. As I said, we know Solskjaer's now our interim boss. He said he wants a job on a full-time basis, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And, I think Peter Schmeichel would love, to be, working alongside, around Solskjaer, Carrick, Kieran, and all that. I think it'd be fantastic for Peter Schmeichel. He's obviously highly experienced of playing with Manchester United. He does love the club. He won a lot of honours, under Alex Ferguson. But he's just interested in being the director of football at Manchester United. Reportedly, he wants the identity back. He wants the culture back, as he currently said. And it's good to try and recommend someone who's played at your club in the past, who knows the trappings of the club, as I said. So it's not. It's probably not ideal to recommend someone who's never had experience of playing at Manchester United as a player, or never having having any connection with Manchester United. But Peter Schmeical obviously was here 8 years as a current player, as we all currently know. So that's big breaking news to update you with. If you go online, you'll see it's in the Daily Mail. It's in quite a few reports, as I currently said. But yeah, as we all know, Solskjaer is interim boss now. He got his first win, as I currently said yesterday. As we all currently know, won comfortably by 5 goals to 1. As I said, and I think the motivation of the team's very good. And I credit Solskjaer, the instructions he gave out to them players. The players met them expectations, what Solskjaer was demanding them to do, and they did it very well. And that was Fergie's style of play, that he used to play as well. And I think these players, they played to the potential level yesterday. It was good to see fullbacks getting high at the pitch. Link-up play was very good. There was heart, there was desire, there was passion. That was the first time Manchester United had scored 5 goals, as we all know, since the Alex Ferguson era as well. It was good. Pogba ran the show in the midfield. There was a lot of tenacity about his play. We was very quick on the ball. But Solskjaer had only actually started 3 of the 11 players that Jose Mourinho had signed when he was here. But it was a great performance. As I currently said, Pogba got, I think, 2 or 3 assists. Lingard got 2, also got an assist as well. Rashford scored a great free kick. Herrera's second were good as well. That got a deflection. But the third goal was absolutely fantastic. The build-up play for that third goal was just absolutely great indeed. As I currently said, there was a lot of tenacity about his play. We were very quick on the ball. I know it is only Cardiff, they are a poor side, but as I said, you could tell there was a change in the team. There was confidence in the team. They were communicating well. They were playing together as a team, as what Solskjaer wanted them to do. And he did praise the players, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But it would be good, in my opinion, if we could hire Peter Schmeical to be our director of football, as I said, because as I said, just like Solskjaer, before Solskjaer became, interim manager of Man United, I said, yeah, Jose Mourinho's being sacked. Recommend Solskjaer as interim boss for the time being, because he knows about the club, because he was a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson, as I said, and also scored in the 1999 final. And that game, Schmeichel was captained that game as well in the Champions League. So potentially for me, Solskjaer knows all about the club, and I think if he carries on getting the team playing like this and they keep performing very well, potentially who's to say he won't get the job on a full-time basis? Who's to say they won't give him the contract? As I currently said, but obviously Ed Woodward and the board are thinking about recommending, a full-time successor at the end of the season, a full-time successor such as Pochettino and Zinedine Zidane. They are the 2 that have been potentially mentioned, as we all currently know. But, if Solskjaer does very well, gets us into the top form, we do get good results, who to say they won't give him the job? As I said, a lot of 70-80% of Man United fans will be coming out now saying, give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis. Let's not get too overexcited. It's only one game. And, Cardiff are a poor team, as we all currently know. But it was great performance. The style of play was amazing. Potentially that's how I grew up watching Manchester United, under the Ferguson days. That's how we used to play. 1 touch, 2 touch, getting in the pockets, getting bodies in decent positions, scoring good goals. As I said, and it was just really great to see, as I currently said. But, Solskjaer, obviously, he doesn't have a good defensive record he didn't have a good defensive record when he was managing Cardiff. He only was in charge of Cardiff 30 games, I think. At Mould, he did win 2 Nord region titles, but his defensive record wasn't very good there. He is still under contract with Mould till 2021, so potentially he could go back to Mould after 6 months. If he does achieve the top 4 of Manchester United, he may get the job on a full-time basis, but if not, then he may get offered another job in the Premier League, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he currently said. But he did admit he wants to, he'd love the job on a full-time basis, did Solskjaer. He has praised the players. He did say, I need to pick the right team, to get us the results, because we've got games coming up thick and fast in the next 10 to 15 days. But he did say Ev's going to get the chance. He's also going to promote the youth as well, which is very good. But all we need to do now is hire a director of football. Peter Schmeichel thinks he'd be a good candidate to fulfill that director's role. That's what he thinks in his opinion. The question is, does he have the qualities? This is currently what I said. He was a great goalkeeper for 8 years with Manchester United, as we all know. But he's interested in taking the role up. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But reportedly, he's considering it very much in taking the director of football role, as I said, because we need one. We're looking for one, obviously. It'd be ideal to get one, before the January transfer window opens, as I said. But there's been discussions about Peter Schmeical. It's all over the media, as I've just read about it, and reportedly he's interested in this. And obviously he used to play along Solskjaer, did Peter Schmeichel. So it would be good, if if Peter Schmeichel could reunite with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, at the club. He's still part of the club when he's director of football, of course, as we all currently know. So potentially, next game is Huddersfield. As I said, the preview probably for that will be coming up tomorrow. As I said now, it will be tomorrow, as I said. Huddersfield are actually winless in their last 5 games. I think they've lost all the remaining last 5 games of Huddersfield. As I said, they've got a few injury problems to Aaron Mouy, Daniel Tom Smith, I think, and Daniel Williams as well. And they've got a few other players out as well. Last 3 meetings, Manchester United have won 2, Huddersfield have won 1. Obviously, they've got David Wagner as their manager. He's obviously been manager at Huddersfield since 2015. He's obviously the ex-manager of the Borussia Dortmund reserve team, as well as we all currently know. I think we've still got a few injury problems. We know Sanchez is definitely out till January, as we all know. I think it still says Rojo's still injured, and it still says Smalling's injured, but they could actually participate maybe in the Huddersfield game, could Smalling and Rojo. But we definitely know Sanchez is out until the new year. And so yeah, but reportedly, reports are actually coming out, guys, about Alexis Sanchez. It was obviously struggled to make an impact since he's come to the club. Reportedly regarding Sanchez, obviously we know he's on £500,000 a week. He's the highest paid player, but reportedly regarding Sanchez, it actually said in the media that reportedly he had a £20,000 bet with teammate Marcus Rojo, reportedly, on the sacking of Jose Mourinho. And allegedly, Sanchez had denied the suggestions, reportedly, but it's, they're just reporting on, what they think about it. Sanchez, reportedly, what I saw on Sky Sports, had actually denied these suggestions, but reportedly he won £20,000 off Marcus Rojo, because Sanchez was saying it was like a matter of time and stuff like that. But reportedly, allegedly, he won £20,000 off Marcus Rojo, as it currently said. So Sanchez reportedly had a bet on the sacking of Jose Mourinho, and reportedly, Sanchez had won £20,000. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, because Sanchez, of what I saw in the report, actually denied all of this. So he actually denied all of this as well. But there's still lots to sort out at the club, as I said, getting a director of football in, and I think Peter Schmeichel would be a good candidate. He knows about the club. He played here for 8 years, as I said. We've obviously got Phelan as our assistant, which is very, very good. He's a former assistant at Ferguson, but now obviously he's here alongside Solskjaer. Solskjaer did praise Michael Carrick. He did praise Kieran. He said Carrick's a very, very good coach, and I thought Carrick was a fantastic player for Manchester United. We got him in 2006. He made over 300 appearances, did he? In the Premier League, did Michael Carrick, and he's a very, very good midfielder, and he was a very, very good partnership alongside Paul Scholes. Was Michael Carrick, as I said. We got him from Tottenham, I think, was it in 2006 or something like that. We had him for a good, 10, 11 year, something like that. Michael Carrick, and he won honours here. What did he win? He won 3. Let me just add it up. He won 5 Premier Leagues. Obviously the Champions League as well. FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League, as we all currently know. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had praised him anywhere, and he also said a lot of managers would like to manage Manchester United, and he's one of them. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But yeah, that's the latest news about Peter Schmeichel. Reportedly, he wants to bring the identity back, the culture back, and he wants to bring Ferguson's mentality back by considering fulfilling the director's role at Manchester United. So reportedly, he wants to be the director of football at the club. What Manchester United are trying to we try to recommend someone to do that, but reportedly Peter Schmeichel's put his name down. He's going to consider applying for it, and yeah, he may get the role of being the director of football, Manchester United. Which is very, very good. Solskjaer, is very, very happy with his managerial role. He's really, really happy with it. He has been discussing, he's been in regular contact with Alex Ferguson. He's been discussing his managerial style at the club so far as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think his tactics are spot on. I think he's got that winning mentality. and I think he's put the mentality into the players, the correct mentality, the attitude, the quality, the intelligence was in the players against Cardiff, as we all know. But we've got to create a platform and build on that platform and carry on performing like that and carry on scoring goals and carry on getting results. That's what we currently want at this club, because we haven't seen it for a long time, as we all currently know. Solskjaer's going to reportedly get £50 million in January. Reportedly, what I told you earlier on, reportedly he's only going to get around £50 million to spend, as I said, and reportedly he's only he's only allowed to get loan signings in the January window, because obviously the club want to save some money for next summer. As I said, I know there's been talks that Solskjaer's got a few targets on his agenda. He's interested in getting a few players in. We're interested in getting a centre-back in, a winger in, as it's said in the media. Solskjaer reportedly is going to have a say in the January transfer window, what happens and stuff. Whether players will leave or not, I do not know, because we've still got a lot of players, coming to the end of the contracts, and we've got to think about renewing some of these, renewing some of these players' contracts, that are coming to a halt, as we all currently know. But you still got to think about every game of Solskjaer, the lineups, getting the tactics have got to be right. As I said, maybe get a couple of players in January, even on loan. Reportedly, he's only allowed to get players on loan because Man United have currently sanctioned Solskjaer getting any permanent deals in the January transfer window. But the club don't want to spend massive in January. They'd rather save it until next summer, because obviously the club feels as though that now we've got Solskjaer's been recommended into the job. The team look as though they're full of confidence, they're energetic, and they do want to play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they are going to get results now. They'll feel as though they don't need any signings, because obviously we've spent enough money as it is. We've spent £700-800 million since Ferguson retired. Mourinho spent over £400 million on a full team, of course, as we all currently know. So, and reportedly Man United have been interested in, Toby Alderweireld, Douglas Costa, Joshua King has been mentioned in the press today. Koulibaly has been mentioned, as I said. But the Joshua King, as I updated you about him, reportedly Solskjaer's interested in him. Solskjaer's obviously had experience of obviously working with Joshua King, when he was rising up the youth system, and when obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was managing the Manchester United reserve. As we all know, he was actually working with Joshua King then when he was rising up the ranks. Joshua King only made one appearance in the Manchester United first team, as we all currently know. And then potentially, he actually began his career with Manchester United, did Joshua King. He went to quite a few teams on loan, as we all know, such as Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think he went, Preston, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Hull, and Blackburn. And then after the Blackburn loan, he officially signed for Blackburn, was at Blackburn a couple of years, then went to Bournemouth, and he's been at Bournemouth since 2015, made about 115 appearances for Bournemouth, scored 35 goals I think since 2015. So his performances have been very, very good for Bournemouth, to be quite fair. His performances have been very, 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 very good for Bournemouth, to be quite fair. Sorry, guys, my phone went a bit funny then. I think he's good at leading the lines. He's good in the air. He's got quite a part his play. His finishing's supposed to be very, very good as well, and he's very, very clinical. But I think Eddie Howe would be reluctant to sell him, because Bournemouth know how much of an essential player he is. Reportedly, he's rated at around £25 million is the player. Reportedly, Tottenham have showed an interest in him as well. But for me, I still think we need a potential attacker, because obviously we know Lukaku's out at the moment on compassionate leave or something like that. So I think he's due to miss Huddersfield, and then he's going to return after the Huddersfield game. I think he'll be returned for the Bournemouth game at Old Trafford. But Lukaku's been struggling for consistency, as we all currently know. He's been struggling for consistency, as we all know. Obviously scored 27 goals in his first season, as we all currently know. And he's 45 goals for Belgium, been playing senior football since the age of 16. He scored 68 goals, during his time with Everton as well, Lukaku. But he hasn't been consistent this season, as we all know. So I think we do need a backup option up there. But as I keep saying, I think the brilliance and the ego of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can dramatically make Lukaku more consistent. get him playing to his potential. We know everyone has concerns about his first touch and all that, as we're all aware. You know, Sanchez hasn't delivered the goods since he's come up front as well. Obviously, he's injured till January, but early on this season, he hasn't really delivered the goods. Alexis Sanchez, you know, could he potentially leave as well? But I said, again, the brilliance of Solskjaer can make him play more consistent and be a better player as well, because obviously these players will now want to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously when we had Mourinho, the players didn't want to play for him. Mourinho had a bad reputation. Obviously, was known for publicly criticising players. He had disputes with a lot of the top players. He had disputes with the board and everything, and the club didn't suit Jose Mourinho, especially the top players. He had disputes with Jose Mourinho, and of course, Paul Pogba was celebrating Jose Mourinho getting sacked. As we all currently know, and I think it's the right decision Manchester United made, because we'd have got worse and worse and worse if we'd have kept Jose Mourinho. And, you know, we wouldn't have won by 5-1 against Cardiff under Jose Mourinho, because his team selection would have been totally different to Solskjaer's. He'd have probably played defensive, because most of the time when he was here, he played defensive, you know, especially in the big games, he was playing defensive as well, and he can't do that. And we'd like go one goal up, and then, you know, Jose Mourinho would say, right, sit back, sit onto a 1-0 lead, and you can't do that. So potentially for me, he didn't have a clue, as we all know, but he's forgot about now. Solskjaer for me is the right man, as I said, and same with Paul Pogba. You see how consistent he played yesterday. He was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, you know, in that midfield. You know, his link-up play was good. He bossed the midfield and he ran the show in the midfield. As I said, Pogba was absolutely fantastic yesterday. But if he keeps playing like that, I want him to stay at the club. And as I said, under Mourinho, I didn't want him here, because obviously he wasn't being consistent enough. He wasn't playing to his potential level. Like all the team really wasn't playing to the potential level, apart from De Gea. But I think now if Pogba keeps his consistency up, you know, I would like him to stay at Manchester United. There has been talks about him potentially making a return back to Juventus, because he had 4 or 5 good years with Juventus. As I currently said, you know, obviously he began his career with Manchester United, as we all know. I think he risen up the ranks with Lee Harvey, but he began his professional career with Manchester United. Manchester United paid £89 million for him, as we all know. But he obviously failed. He failed to adapt himself under Jose Mourinho, as we all know. But I think he's going to be a great, exceptional player now under the management of Solskjaer, because Solskjaer knows what he's doing. As I currently said, I think Pogba plays better in a free attacking role, in my opinion. And I think he's going to give more opportunities to the likes of Fred. I think he's going to give Pereira more game time. They've been frustrated with lack of game time this season. I think he's going to give Fred and Pereira more game time. I think Mata's going to get more starts, because he hasn't been starting a lot from the start this season, as we all know. And I like Juan Mata. He's a great clinical player, Juan Mata. You know, I think he was the last major signing that Man United got. The other ones since, you know, the Moyes era have been all average signings. They haven't been great world-class players, because we haven't been getting his potential main targets, you know, that we currently want, especially under Mourinho, because the board weren't backing some of the signings he wanted to get in during the course of summer. And obviously Mourinho was frustrated with the lack of transfer activity, as we all currently know. But I think, you know, whoever manager we're getting at the end of the season, maybe still Solskjaer for all we know, but I think, you know, we'll get our number one targets in next summer. We may spend in January, but according to what I've seen, the board and Ed Woodward would recommend Solskjaer just to get loan signings in, you know, probably till the end of the season, and then think about getting permanent signings in at the end of the season when we get a full-time manager. It could still be Solskjaer. He could get the full-time basis if we progress and we do very, very well and the team are performing well. As I said, because they have the confidence, they want to play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this team, and he knows about the club as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But it's only one game. Let's not get too excited. It was great to watch. If we played like that against the big teams, and we did it like that against the big teams and got results against the big teams, then I would consider then getting Solskjaer a job as a full-time basis, because I do love him. He was a great player for us for 11 years, as I currently said. But there's still a lot to address in that Manchester United team, as I said. But there's also reports coming out that Manchester United have reportedly been interested in Douglas Costa, as I have been updating you in the last couple of days. Reportedly, Man United are interested in Douglas Costa. Reportedly, Man United are interested in him. He's a winger. You can play on each flank, so his versatility is very, very good. His dribbling is very, very good. His crossing is supposed to be very, very good as well. Juventus have got him now. Juventus bought him on a permanent deal for around £35 million, was it? Because he was on a 1 year loan. He was on a loan deal last season, so he was on a 1 year loan with Juventus last season. Won the domestic double in his first 2 seasons. Of course, he's the next Bayern Munich player where he won 2 titles. He's obviously an ex-Shakhtar Donetsk player. He was at Shakhtar Donetsk for a good 5 years. Won the domestic treble with Shakhtar Donetsk and won quite a lot of honours. You know, when he was younger in his prime, as we all know, and he actually began his career with Gramero. But Douglas Costa, you know, he's at Juventus. He hasn't been getting the regular game time, you know, that he would like at Juventus. As we all currently know, you know, he does play. When he does play, he's playing alongside good players in that Juventus team, because Juventus have got a lot of good players. As I said, they've got a fantastic history, you know, in Italy as well, and they are the biggest club in Italy, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. They win the Serie A every year, or it's nearly every year, at least, as we all know. They've got Ronaldo in there. They've got now Costa. They've got Ronaldo, Chiellini. They've got Dybala, who I really like. I think is a really good prolific striker, prolific goal scorer as well. Is Paulo Dybala. They've got Leonardo Bonucci, as we all currently go. They've got Sami Khedira, as we all know. They've got a lot of good players. Well, they did have Higuain, obviously, but now he's obviously on loan with AC Milan, Gonzalo Higuain. But yeah, they've got a great team of Juventus. But Douglas Costa, I think he would be a good signing. It would be good to come and see him experience the Premier League, as I said. It maybe would cost Man United in the region of maybe £35-40 million at least to get the boot of the player, of course. But reportedly, Manchester United have been interested, because I still think that right-hand side does need addressing, to be quite fair. But whether he makes signings in January or not, we do not know. Permanent signings, because obviously we're not in desperate need now, because obviously we've got Solskjaer in, and we have got a great team as it is, and you know I think we start playing together now as a team. As I currently said, I think we are, but there's a few central defenders we've been interested in, as I've obviously discussed with you about Koulibaly and Sofia Alderweireld. You know, they're the central defenders that Manchester United have been interested in, as I've already updated you on that, guys. But yeah, the big main part about this video is about Peter Schmeical. Peter Schmeical, reportedly, he's interested in fulfilling being a director of football at Manchester United. He's interested in fulfilling the role, as I said, and it would be good to come and see him have a reunion at Old Trafford and Manchester United. It'd be good for him to come back and experience, these facilities, this fantastic era now with Ole Gunnar as manager, and it'd be good for him, to come and see some of the players as well. Peter Schmeichel, as I said, it would be great for him to be coming as being the director of football at the club. As I said, it would be really good for him. Obviously, having experience of as a player, played for Manchester United for 8 years, as a goalkeeper, as we all know, and he was a sensational goalkeeper, was Peter Schmeichel, as we all currently know. But he's interested in it, wants to bring the identity back, wants to bring the culture back, and he said he wants to bring the Fergie's mentality back to Manchester United, as we all know, because we are still a big club historically. The amount of success we had under Ferguson, as I said, we've got one of the biggest stadiums in English football, as we all know, obviously just behind Wembley. We've got 76,000 capacity stadium, great stadium, as I currently said. And so yeah, as I said, so what do you think to this? Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe to the channel as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again on my next video. Bye.